Hey Virgos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your second half of September general reading here. Now, before I get into your meditation, I just have a couple of announcements over here. So, my Be Your Own Intuitive course is now available for sign up and registration. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a 3-week long webinar where we meet via Zoom audio, and it really is going to be all about how to click in and hone your intuitive abilities. It's for all skill levels. There's going to be partner work, question and answer time, all of the good things, and it really will be, I feel, a grand old time. So I'm really excited about connecting with you guys individually. Also, I have a newsletter now. Hey, really loving this newsletter lifestyle. I'm going to do book recommendations and current obsessions. I do an animal energy of the month, all of that good stuff. How to sign up for the course and the newsletter is on my website, which is in the description box below. So thank y'all. Okay, let's get right into the meditation now. I just breezed through that so I can get right into the meditation. Okay, but really. Listen, I heard a song in your meditation called Heartland. And it's a song by Haley Witters. And I heard very particular lyrics. I saw a dove with what do they have in their mouths? It's a symbol of peace. It's like a piece of garland or something. And I saw, this was really interesting. They took me to Christmas time. Or winter solstice, if you will, but that time of year. I saw a nativity scene, which was really interesting. And I saw the words peace on earth. And it felt like the feeling there was about connecting to an aspect of yourself. And maybe for you, this is when you were younger. Perhaps it's pertinent for now in some way. But it felt like the point of it was connecting with people, places, things, aspects of yourself that feel like home to you. Okay? So the lyrics from the song Heartland that I heard were, you got to let your heart land in the middle of nowhere. You just got to go there. It don't matter how high you've been floating in your blue sky. Nothing gets you like goodbye can when life is out of your hands. You've got to let your heart land. Ooh, I just got shivies. There's something in that for you guys. So let's go ahead. I want to get right into the animal energy here. But Virgo, it does feel like you are being called to, because when I think about, the winter time of year, oh, that was so weird. Did you see that? That was okay. When I think about the winter time of year, just imagistically and feeling vibe, that's a time to tuck in and get cozy and slow down is the overall energy I'm getting with this. It's that energy of the slow down, appreciating the small things. I'm hearing small victories, right? Even if you were ever in a place in your life where you used to, and I'm using air quotes, right? Used to be able to, and just for an example, if your typical day used to be 6 a.m. workout, 8 o'clock meditation, 10 o'clock, you were making money and getting work done and doing this and that. And then, 3 o'clock, you had a certain amount done and then you were gearing up for the next day. Just saw 3:33 on the timer. I'll get back to that because that feels important too. And now you're finding, wow, the space that I was in previously, whenever that was for you, right? It's looking and feeling a bit different now. How I used to do things, it feels a bit different. I need to go about it another way. I'm hearing to suspend your expectations of yourself. I'm hearing for some of you guys, it's not just about suspending expectations of yourself, but also around others as well. Viewing yourself and others through a compassionate lens. And when I think about the symbol of the dove, right? The dove, oh my gosh, whenever dove comes up, that is a very profound message for me that, the beautiful old adage, love is patient, love is kind. And I feel like that love, you're being asked to apply that to yourself, right? And those around you as well. Whatever way that looks like. But I'm hearing suspend any expectations of yourself and others. Open your mind and allow yourself to be in a place where you can find gratitude and ease and appreciation for the small victories. And I say small victories, but I understand that I'm talking to the Virgo collective. So, as an Aquarian over here, like your small victory might, for me, be like an enormous victory, because I know you guys, with you like things to have a certain sense of completion, and you like things done in a way that you can stand back and go, yeah, I did my best work, right? Your earth signs. And speaking of earth, you got the earthworm. Beautiful. I'm really excited that this came up for you. I also want to draw a parallel. They're taking me to December and January, and I understand that we're doing second half of September, but it's what's coming up. So we're going to go there. And this energy for me is that of the Fool. It's also a bit Page of Pentacles-esque, right? This is about new starts, new beginnings, the beginning of a cycle. The earthworm also, interestingly enough, has 5 hearts. So more of this energy of self-love and peace and heart. You remember how I heard the song Heartland? And then we have the earthworm, which has 5 hearts. So definitely at the epicenter, I want to say, of this, energy for you guys here. And by the way, I would be remiss in saying I can't believe we're 6 minutes in and I haven't said this yet. Happy birthday season, though, Virgos. I'm sorry. That took too long to come out. I hope you guys are having an amazing birthday season, truly. And what a beautiful time, because this is technically your birthday season. It's like the start of your new year, right? And that's what I was going to say with this earthworm energy, too. This skin is very fragile, right? Just like a baby's skin. Like it's that kind of energy. And so in your relationship with yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, the thoughts that you have, you're being asked to ask yourself, would I speak this way to a child that I care about, right? Well, hopefully children in general, but look at it in terms of so I'm getting this with the nativity scene as well, with that energy of baby, children, and not even from a Judeo-Christian, lens necessarily. That's just how they're showing it to me. I think there's something about being gentle with yourself and going, would the thoughts that I am saying about myself to myself, the thoughts that I am thinking, right? Would I direct any of this towards a child that I love, right? There's something about that. Looking at it through the, allowing yourself to nurture yourself and be kind to yourself as you would a child. That feels very, very important. All right. Let's see what's going on for you guys for second half of September. Yes. 2 of Wands. Do you know what this is all about for me, especially with this stingray energy here? This is all about heart and head. So this is 2 of Wands. Traditionally, this is about patience, right? And that moment before you make a decision, right? And take future steps towards an action that you've decided upon, right? But this is that moment before. This is that moment where you're walking along the beach and you're going, oh, I have a choice before me. I either have a job offer, I have, an opportunity or thoughts about moving somewhere else, getting into a new relationship, taking a chance on that, again, whatever have you. And this is that moment where you're walking along the beach and you're weighing it out and you're going, okay, heart and head. I'm seeing someone with a pro and con list, right? Heart and head. This is the meeting of the heart and the head. And I am getting a distinct message for you right now to let yourself marinate in between the two without choosing a side or really balancing the facts and figures quite yet. There is something to that. I mean, look at how this just this chill energy, right? There is a shadow aspect to Stingray as well that asks us to sort of look at those deeper, darker recesses of our subconscious or unconscious behavior, but also how we speak to each other, or ourselves rather, and each other, how we see ourselves. How much is that conditioned from our childhood, from our past hurt and pain? There's something, the whole thing here just feels like a brand new fresh slate. I was going to say earlier, brilliant. There's another aspect here with the earthworm why I feel like they keep taking me to December. And with this earthworm and the full energy, it's like a new year. I keep getting this thing of a new year, right? You have some time before the actual new year happens. I'm hearing to allow yourself to be within this time and free of expectations or time limits, right? Or have tos, and allow yourself to be where you are, feel where you are, and not just, I want to say, it's not as much about observing yourself from a detached perspective, but observing yourself from a loving, almost, I want to say loving scientific perspective, which is interesting because those seem like two counter energies, but it feels right, right? When life is out of your hands, you got to let your heart land. That's the thing. Let your heart land. Four of Wands. Stunning. So we got double wands here. Wands are about the actions that you take. So this is really interesting that it's coming up in this way. Four of Wands, I think it is probably my favorite minor arcana. Key, it's such a beautiful energy. Four of Wands is very much about, oh, thank you, Carhorn. It's about a lot to celebrate, but in a way where you're looking at your home life, your inside, how you feel on the inside, and it's mirroring that in your physical world as well, because it's very much about home life. Now remember, this is the, happy home life key. Remember what I said at the beginning about home? So that really feels like it's at the heart of this reading. And you see how this dude has made this, beautiful nest, and he's waiting for his mate to come in, and he's like, yeah, I've made this, right? I feel like that's what you're being asked to do right now as well, is work with where you are and what you have without necessarily running off to invite more change or invite more stimuli or invite more optionality to you at the moment. It's almost this like feeling of like work with where you are and what you have, because the gold is right within and in front of you, right? That's what it feels like. It's not always, yes, we always have the power and everything, so says Glinda the Good Witch, but there is something here about untapped treasures, and you're being asked to sort of allow yourself to be still long enough and without expectations to really sit in and hone all that's there already. Now this is interesting. We have the Tower energy here. So this makes a lot of sense. So look at it this way. You have the Two of Wands, which is about a marriage of heart and head, and taking the time in the stillness before graduating to the Three of Wands, where you're actually putting those plans into action, right? Then you go to the Four of Wands. So it's interesting, right, that the Three of Wands is what's in between. It's really interesting how this is coming forward. Then you have the Four of Wands, which is taking a moment to rest and be where you are and appreciating all that you have built, up to this point without necessarily running after anything new, right? This is the moment of rest that happens after the Three of Wands, where you're actively setting out and making moves around your decisions and goals and ideas and dreams and points of inspiration, right? So it's really interesting. And can you see that? Oh, Lord. Then you have the Tower here. I'm going to tell you something. The Tower traditionally is about big change. It's about something coming in, and you know what I always like to call this key? This is the great rearranger. So this is when we are not necessarily on our highest and best path for whatever reason, and yes, it happens, right? The universe, forces outside of our control, right, come in and rearrange things as to reset us or invite us to, because we are our choices, right? Can't be forced into anything, right? We can keep choosing to detour. Or we can get to a place of true allowance where we're like, okay, universe, you really shook things up. I'm in a place where I'm realizing that I'm not exactly sure what comes next or what it's going to look like or how I feel about, myself in relationship to these changes and where I am now. But I'm going to trust and allow you to come in and know that at the end of the day, that it's all going to work out for the best if I make choices from love and not fear. I'll tell you something, that seems to be the collective message for this round, is that there's no wrong or right choices. There are only choices made from love and choices made from fear. And I feel like that is permeating, right, throughout this reading. I'm also really struck by the fact that this earthworm, I'm feeling January and a new cycle and a new time of year, and it's your personal new year with your birthday season. And then this Tower here, it's almost as if you're being prepped for a big change in your life. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like you are being prepped for a big change in your life, and you are being asked to just sit with your appetizer, right? before running off, and going, wait a minute, okay, I'm going to get through this appetizer right quick because I'm real excited about whatever this entree is. I want to know what the entree is. I want to know everything. What are the ingredients? What temperature was it cooked at? How's it going to be? What garnish is going to be on the plate? Just allowing yourself to enjoy and really be present with where you are, right? As opposed to where you're not, which is leading to some big change. I'm going to tell you this tower feels inherently positive, but it's almost as if you can feel instinctively that you are headed for some major change, right? Because again, with this earthworm, this is brand fresh, new, full energy on the back end of great change, right? You have the Emperor here to clarify the Two of Wands. This is exactly what I was saying. So the Emperor, first of all, look how stunning. The Emperor is Aries energy. You guys, for me personally, are very similar to Aries energy in the way that you are very reliable, and when you say you're going to do something, for the most part, right? A Virgo in alignment anyway. When they say they're going to do something, they pretty much do it, right? It's, you guys are earth signs. That's your zhuzh. And it's lovely, right? When you're in alignment. The Emperor here with the Aries energy, this is a very black and white way of thinking. This is that aspect of it has to be done this way. For example, I am, 42 years old, and I should have these ducks in a row by now. Oh my God, that was part of the Hayley Whitter song. That, I'm telling you, this song has come through so strong for you. The beginning of that song is, I should be married by now, 2 kids in a paid-for house. I can hear him now asking, what are you doing now? I mean, I should have more to show. Like, that's the feeling here behind this. The Emperor is such a strict, it's like sitting in a very hard back chair. That's the Emperor energy here, right? And the fact that it's coming up with the Two of Wands, you're asking not to taskmaster yourself. Do you see how much effort it is for this dude to stand on this peak and hold ground and turf? And you're being asked to chill out in the water. Float on your back, right? And just be where you are, heart and head, right? The Emperor, it's like a counter energy to this. This is saying, please, you may be feeling aspects of the Emperor. You may be taskmastering yourself, having some judging or critical thoughts within your own mind. You may be even looking to the past and going, man, if I had known then what I know now, I would have done things a bit differently. I would have left that relationship sooner. I would have seen the signs. I would have not taken that job. I wouldn't have stayed in that job so long. I would have listened to my mom when she told me to do X, Y, and Z, right? I'm really hearing to just, accept and embrace the reality that likely you're exactly where you're meant to be. And even if you don't know where you're going next, that is also part of the what? The point, the journey, right? Oh, wow. These cards are so stunning. Okay. Wow. Look at the dual imagery here with the trees. I'm loving the earth energy coming across in this reading. So here we have the Seven of Swords. I love how it says guile here. It's like, oh, okay, guile. There's something here about, because I'm really drawn to the squirrels. The squirrel is also the monthly animal energy that I wrote about in the newsletter. So it's really been on my mind with the squirrels. The squirrel for me is very much about releasing what doesn't serve you in a material sense, which leads to or it invites changes internally. Because when you release things in the physical plane or, material things, it does prompt you to face your past, right? You're going, oh, I remember when I got this shirt, I was blah, blah, blah. Oh, I remember when do I still need this? Do I need this book that I bought at the 23rd Street used book shop when I was with, that guy, whatever that is, right? There's something here about doing that because this Four of Wands here is very much, like I said, about the home, the heart space. The home is where the heart is, the home and the hearth, where you feel most at ease. There's something about that. And then you have the Seven of Swords, which traditionally is self-sabotage, right? It's also about behavior that is less than above board, right? There is really, okay, I'm getting this very distinct energy where there's a group of you guys that feel like you were wronged or that you made a wrong decision or that you really wish you had taken some other turn in the road. There is this very distinct feeling running throughout this. And I just want to say to you, like just around the river bend. It really feels like the sooner that you can allow yourself to accept that, okay, 2020, hindsight is 2020 and all, right? But I'm going to choose to love where I am, even if it's not where I thought I would be, even though I may have fear about where I'm going. I'm going to choose to love where I am right now, right? And following the feeling behind that, right? Yeah. Yep. Seven's also the number of a lot of effort. There's these counter energies on the bottom here with like putting in a lot of effort and doing the most and go, right? And it feels like your advice is just to kind of like, whoa, just to chill, relax, allow. Wow. Son of Arrows. So stunning, this beautiful fox here. So this is really nice. This is the Knight of Swords here. I'm going to tell you why I really, really love this in conjunction with the Tower energy. So first of all, the sword suit. This is about ideas, communication, right? Our mental state of being, right? This is also about revelations and points of inspiration. It's like when our mind is just absolutely what? Like the Tower, like electrified, right? There's that sense of that. I am really getting this distinct impression that if you allow yourself to take your mind off of whatever it is you're ruminating against, whether that's the past, the future, where you are, where you're not, it feels like a lot of mental tension. Some of you guys may even have trouble sleeping, or you wake up and you've slept technically, but you still feel tired. Like there's this very distinct energy of that. And I'm seeing that if you can allow yourself just to be in this unknown and enjoy it, trust me, I get it. Like that can be very difficult to do. Enjoy being in the unknown, especially, with this year being what it has been. I completely get that. And this may feel to some of you like this is a big ask, but I would invite you to reframe it from a big ask to a well-deserved opportunity for ease and rest and, self-care, self-love, self-attention, right? Allowing yourself to go more slowly. Because I do have this very distinct impression with this Knight of Swords here in the Tower, that where you're going is going to be a chapter that you are going to be in for quite some time. Whenever a major arcana comes up like this, it means it's a destined event, right? When you see minors and you don't like something, you can go on and change it. But majors are like, this is a marker in the road that is distinct and is going to have lasting effects, right? Where you're going is significant and you're going to be there a while, right? What that looks like and how it feels like is distinctly up to you. And it does feel like, Virgos, that it will depend on, right, whether you have the mental space and you've aligned your energy to one of acceptance, allowance, self-worth, all of that good stuff is going to dictate this opportunity as it comes up, right? On one hand, whether or not you're going to be able to recognize it as such, because that's half the battle too, is recognizing the opportunities when they come up. I mean, truth be told, especially to those of us who live in our heads, Virgos and Aquarians have that in common for real, right? So I really do feel like you're being primed for something significant, and you're being invited to allow yourself to be where you are, right? In the process of that. I'm getting this image of I'm seeing someone baking or cooking. Would it be cooking or baking a souffle? I don't know. Never made one. But I'm getting the image of a souffle and how if you were to take it out, too soon, right, what would happen? I think it would fall, right? Something like that. I'm hearing that a souffle takes time, but it's always worth it. That's what I'm hearing for you guys. Okay? Allow it to bake. Allow yourself to live in these questions. Allow yourself to be where you are. Allow yourself to love not knowing, right? Yeah, there's something in that. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Whoa. Okay, guys, I hope you're ready for this. Meadow vulnerability like gotta let your heart land in the middle of nowhere. Vulnerability. I'm obsessed. Also, I love that there's some sunflowers here too, which represent August into September. So I do feel like this is a nod to the time of year as well. I also want to point out, you know, there's an aspect here of like wide open spaces, right? Whereas this feeling before of this rigid energy of the Emperor and the Seven of Swords, and it's a bit intense over here, and even the Knight of Swords is a bit forward, right? And the Tower is intense too, even though it's leading you to something quite significant. It is intense, and you're being asked to just like release any expectation, release and just be present in this wide open space, right? There is this feeling of allowing yourself to be wide open. And I mean, come on, look, earthworm and meadow, right? The more time you can spend in nature connecting with the earth and all of that good stuff, wide open spaces, breathing in and out, that's the ticket. Then you have Gaia, nurturing. We were definitely talking about self-care, self-love, and allowing yourself to speak to yourself in a way that you would speak to a child that you have affinity for, right? That you love. This feels really, really important. I'm also getting another message around dream time and your sleeping hours. Wow, look at these two meadows here. Really obsessed here. I'm seeing the movie What Dreams May Come. I'm going to tell you something, and it feels like a hint, because I feel like Spirit is like, don't give them too much. The task, the opportunity is to stay in the space when they're in without galloping off like Knight of Swords style to figure out the next chapter, what to do next, or what it's going to look like, or whatever have you. But there is this aspect of your dream time. I would be open to keeping a dream journal, or at least taking note of your dreams. I feel like there are messages or points of inspiration in that. And it's going to come through the back door when your subconscious is at rest during dream time, when you're most open, right? Again, back to this energy, right? This might be a manta ray as opposed to a stingray. Either way. So that it feels like, you know, wide open, looking at the aspects around you and whatever you can do to create that feeling of home and nurturing within yourself is the ticket right now, Virgo. You absolutely got this. Again, a very happy birthday season to you. I am sending you guys all of the love and the blessings. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.